Hello and welcome to episode 3 of our Autodesk Maya tutorial series. In this video, we're going to create the head of our female character model in Autodesk Maya. So let's jump right in. Here's the character body we worked on in the earlier episodes. If you haven't watched those yet, make sure to check them out. The link is in the video description below. I'll put the body in a layer and hide it for now. Let's jump into modeling the head. I'll take a cube, then position and scale it to match the reference. Now by holding Shift right-click, I will apply Smooth on it to give it a nice round shape with a few extra divisions. Now I'll just place it roughly over the skull area like this. Next, I'll grab these two bottom faces and extrude them out to create the neck out of it. I'll scale them down on the y-axis to flatten out the bottom, and then start roughly blocking out the head shape by tweaking the vertices, matching it to the reference from both the side and front views. Once the basic head shape is blocked out, I'll grab these faces and extrude them, then scale them down a little and pull them out just a bit. I'll line up these two vertices with the jawline. And these two I will line up with the neck. Then I'll tweak the rest of the vertices to refine the shape a bit more. Now I'll apply Edit Edge Flow on these edges to maintain the form and round out the shape of the forehead. Now let's tweak these vertices and keep them just above the eye area. And then I'll even out these vertices to keep the shape nice and clean. I'm going to delete half of the model, and then using the multi-cut tool, I'll connect these vertices for the eye area. Now by selecting the model, I will go to Edit and choose Duplicate Special Option Box. I will reset the settings from here, and then turn on Instance, and set the Scale X value, which is the first option, to -1. Then Apply, and it will create an instance on the opposite side, so whatever tweaks I make here will automatically update on the other side. Next I'll grab this face, extrude it, and scale it down from the center. Then I'll delete this extra face. Snap the edge to the grid by holding X. And finally scale it down and position it to line up with the lips. Now the side reference doesn't line up perfectly with the front, so I'll adjust the lips from the front view to match things up for now. Now I'll jump into the multi-cut tool options and turn on edge flow from here. This way, whenever I'll add an edge loop, it'll automatically follow and maintain the natural flow of the model. Alright, let's drop an edge here, and another one on the forehead, then connect these two vertices together. I'll now go ahead and delete this face. Now I'll drop an edge right here. Then select these faces around the eye area and extrude them. Let's scale them down a bit like this. And then tweak the vertices to start shaping out the eyes, matching them with the reference from the front view. I'll go ahead and delete these 4 faces, and then switch over to the side view to tweak the vertices and adjust the shape from there. Alright, let's add an edge over here. Let's add one edge down here in the neck like this. Now I'll connect these 2 vertices, then double-click this edge and delete it. I'll also remove this extra edge to clean up that triangle. So that leaves us with a 5-sided polygon here, but that's alright for now. Next, I'll delete the bottom face caps of the neck and start tweaking the vertices to smooth things out. Now let's add one edge over here. Then I will connect these 2 vertices together to turn these into quads. Then I will select Slide Edge tool by holding Shift right click, and then slide these edges and even out the spacing. I'll drop one more edge over here, and then connect these 2 vertices together. Let's scale these vertices in the Y-axis to bring them a bit closer. Now the basic block out of the head is done, so we can move on to adding details to the face. Let's add an edge loop around the mouth area. Now I'll drop one edge here, and another one at the back, then connect the 2 together. I'll drop one edge here, and then connect it with this vertex. Let's slide this edge to even out the spacing. I will slide this edge and keep it over here. And then add one edge loop over here. Now I will apply Edit Edge Flow on these edges to smooth out the shape. And now I'll start tweaking the nose. I'll bring these vertices a little closer together. Then select these faces and extrude them out. I'll isolate this half of the model and delete these extra faces in the nose area. Then I'll tweak the vertices to start blocking out the nose shape. Once the basic nose blocking is done, I'll move on to the mouth. I'll trace out the lip shape with the multi-cut tool from the front view. Then switch to the side view and start tweaking the shape. After that, I will add one edge over here, and then I'll connect it with the upper lip. Now over here, I'll drop an edge loop and then start tweaking the vertices. Now I'll grab this edge and use the slide edge tool to even out the spacing. Let's drop an edge loop over here. Then I'll apply Edit Edge Flow on these edges and tweak the vertices to smooth out the shape. I'll add an edge loop around the nose and then tweak the edges and vertices a bit to smooth out the shape. Now I'll drop one edge over here and another one over here, and then just tweak the vertices to clean up the shape. For the wings of the nose, I'll shape these vertices into a circular form. Then I'll push them out a little to give some volume. Then I'll grab these faces, extrude them, scale them down, and pull them out slightly. Now I'll just tweak these vertices and push them out a little to give the shape some more volume. Now I'll grab the multi-cut tool and draw an edge over here like this. Then I'll select this edge and by holding Shift right click, go to Merge or Collapse Edges, then to Collapse Edge to get rid of the triangle. Next I'll delete this edge and drop a new edge loop over here. Then I'll connect these two vertices. After that I'll add one more edge loop over here and connect these two vertices as well. Now I'll select this edge, then by holding Shift right click, go to Flip or Spin Edge, then spin forward to rotate it. I'll rotate it a couple more times and leave it like this. Then I'll drop an edge loop here to get rid of the triangle. Next, I'll connect this vertex to this edge, and then delete this edge to clean up that triangle. After that, I'll drop an edge loop here and connect these two vertices and then just tweak things a bit to smooth out the shape. I'm using the slide edge tool here to even out the spacing and smooth things out. I will add one edge over here, and then I'll start smoothing out the shape of the head. I'm using Edit Edge Flow where needed, along with the Slide Edge tool to even out the spacing of the edges, and tweaking the vertices to refine and smooth the head shape. Now I'll add an edge loop around the eye area. And let's add another edge over here. Then I'll apply Edit Edge Flow on these edges and tweak the vertices to even out the shape. Now let's clean up this area. I'll delete the edge loop from the nose, then add a new edge here, and connect these two vertices. Next, I'll tweak the vertices to smooth out the shape. After that, I'll delete this edge, add a new edge around the eye, and then connect these two vertices. Now I'll rotate this edge using spin forward a couple of times by holding Shift right-click. After that, I'll add an edge here and connect it to this vertex. Then delete the extra edge and then connect these two vertices. Next, I'll apply Edit Edge Flow on this edge and then tweak the vertices and edges to smooth out the shape. I'll delete this edge, then add a new one over here and connect it to this vertex. Now let's connect these two vertices, and then I'll delete these four edges. Next, I'll select this edge, Shift select till this one, then slide the edge upward and keep it over here. Next, I'll adjust the edges and vertices to refine the shape. I'll delete this edge from the eye area and then slide the surrounding edges to even out the spacing. Now I'll connect these vertices to convert them into clean quads. Now I'll slide this edge down to create some space. Then add an edge loop here. Another one below here. One in this negative space. Another running from the eye to the neck. And one at the bottom of the chin. After placing them, I'll refine the loops using Edit Edge Flow to maintain smooth topology. Now moving on to the eyes, I'll start tweaking the vertices to carefully trace the shape according to the reference image. After that, I'll adjust both the edges and vertices to maintain a clean and proper edge flow across the topology. Now I'll select the outer edge loop of the eye and scale it up slightly. Then I'll extrude it inward to define the eye socket. After that, I'll select this face ring and extrude it outward a bit to add some thickness. Now I'll select these two inner edges and move them up slightly, adjusting the surrounding edges to refine the shape. I'll do the same for the bottom edges, moving them down a bit. After that, I'll apply Edit Edge Flow on the surrounding edges to maintain a smooth transition. Now I'm sliding the side edges to even out the spacing. And then I'll tweak the vertices to clean up and refine the overall shape. After that, I will select the inner edge loop of the eye and extrude it inward. Then scale it up and adjust the vertices to form the eye socket where the eyeball will be placed. I'll extrude this edge loop once more and scale it down to form a sack-like structure. Then add a couple of supporting edges and tweak them to round out the shape. Now let's take a sphere, then scale it up and position it as the eyeball. Once it's in the correct position, I'll tweak the eye socket vertices to fit properly around the eyeball. I'll also check the model in Smooth Preview by pressing 3 on the keyboard and make any necessary tweaks. Once that looks good, I'll delete the history on the eyeball, set its pivot to the center of the character, duplicate it with Ctrl-D, and scale it to -1 on the x-axis to place the second eyeball on the opposite side. Now let's move on to the nose. I'll begin by tweaking the vertices from the front view to widen it slightly. and then refine the overall shape to match the side reference more accurately. Now for the nostrils, I'll select these faces and extrude them, then scale them inward from the center to add some thickness. After that, I'll push them up slightly and tweak the surrounding vertices to refine the shape. After that, I'll once again select these faces and extrude them, and pushing them inside and scaling them down. Then I'll delete those faces to create the nostril opening, and finally tweak the edges and vertices to smooth out the overall shape. Now let's add an edge loop in this gap, and then adjust the surrounding vertices to refine the shape. Now I'll delete this corner edge, then add an edge loop here, and connect it with this vertex. After that, I'll continue tweaking the surrounding vertices and edges to refine the nostril area and smooth out the shape. Here, I'm enabling soft selection by pressing B on the keyboard. To adjust the fall-off size, you can hold B and drag with the middle mouse button. Soft selection helps by smoothly influencing the surrounding edges or vertices along with the selected one, making it easier to tweak shapes organically. I'm sliding these edges to clean up the topology and keep the edge spacing even. I'll apply Edit Edge Flow to the edges to maintain a smooth flow, and tweak the vertices to refine the nose shape. I'll also scale down the nostrils slightly to keep them smaller and more natural. After adjusting the nose, I'll add an edge loop here, and connect these two vertices to keep everything in quads and maintain clean topology. Over here, I can see a triangle forming in the corner of the nose, so let's fix it. I'll delete this edge, then connect these two vertices to make it a quad. After that, I'll remove the extra edge loop we just added to clean up the topology and keep things simple. I'll fine-tune the nose shape a bit more by adjusting the edges to maintain a natural edge flow and keep the overall surface nice and smooth. Now I'll slide this edge down and position it here. I'll delete this edge. Next, I'll add another edge and connect it with the nose corner vertex. I'll drop one more edge here and connect it with these two vertices. After that, I'll tweak the vertices to smooth out the shape. I'll also add another edge running inside the nose to help define the form. Finally, I'll slide the edges to equalize the spacing and maintain a clean edge flow. Now I'll slide this edge over here. Then let's add an edge loop in this area. After that, I'll apply Edit Edge Flow to keep the edge flow nice and smooth. can see that there's a gap in the center of the neck, so let's fix that. I'll select all the center vertices, isolate them to make sure only the middle ones are selected, and then scale them along the x-axis to straighten them out. Now I'll start tweaking the lips and adjust them to match the reference. I'll slide these edges slightly upward to give some space around the upper lip. Now I'll connect these two vertices and delete this extra edge. Then I'll add an edge loop here and connect it to this vertex. Let's add another edge in this negative space. Then I'll tweak the vertices to smooth out the shape, and then even out the edges using Edit Edge Flow. Now I'll drop an edge close to the lip line to define it better. And then let's slide these edges around the cheek area to even out the spacing of the edges to maintain a clean topology all over. Now I'll adjust the corner edge and blend it smoothly with the overall edge flow to keep everything looks clean. I will now add an edge loop in between the lips and tweak the vertices to give them some volume and making sure they match nicely with the side reference. Next, let's move on to the chin area and adjust the topology. I'll connect these vertices, then drop a few edge loops on the neck. After that, I'll delete these two edges and add one more edge loop over here like this. Now I'll connect this edge and run it all the way to the center edge to close it up. I will slide this edge up a bit, then drop an edge loop here and tweak the vertices to even out. I'll slide these edges and apply Edit Edge Flow to even out the spacing, then tweak the vertices to smooth out the shape. Now for the philtrum, I'll draw out the shape using the multi-cut tool, then tweak the vertices to get the shape right. After that, I'll connect this vertex all the way to the nostril corner, then delete this extra edge and bring these edges a bit closer together to define the philtrum lines. Now I'll delete this edge to get rid of that triangle near the nose, and then slide these edges to even out the spacing. I will do the same for the lower edge loops, matching their position with the upper ones. Then I'll add one more edge loop down here to keep the edge count consistent, then finally tweak everything to smooth out the shape. This is looking really good. And that's a wrap for episode 3 of our female character modeling series. In the next episode, we'll continue working on the rest of the model, so stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon. Got any questions? Just drop them in the comments below. And don't forget to like and share this video. Happy modeling, and I'll see you in the next one.